Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Orbital Potato. This is Rise of Industry. This is kind of a brand new game. It used to be called Project Automata, but now it is called Rise of Industry. And I am super excited for this game, because it is basically like Factorio and Transport Tycoon Deluxe mashed up into one fantastic game. So I want to point out that this is a very early press build that I've managed to get my hands on. Thank you to the devs. It's very early stages of this game, but I'm very excited for all of the stuff that this game is going to do. So there's currently an ability to launch a custom game, which you can create your own world and all that, and you can, you know, of course, load a game, and there's a bunch of options as well. But we're just going to go right ahead and jump into the quick start section so that we can get really down and dirty with this game. So first things first, let's pause. So immediately you can see the resemblance to Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Visually, it's strikingly similar, except it feels much cleaner and much more modern. The graphics, of course, look a hell of a lot better than they did in that year's old game. Also, the music is kind of dope. I don't know why the music decided to stop playing right now. Oh, it's back. Fantastic. Anyway, yes, let's... Ooh. Lots of layers of rock there. Interesting. Let's talk about resources. So you might see there's a bunch of resources that are scattered around the map. We've got coal over here. We've got oil over there. We've got a little bit of iron ore here. Iron ore, coal. There's a little bit of gas right there. Iron ore, gas, all this stuff, right? Loads of resources right now. There's also a couple of other resources which we're going to talk about. So I think what we probably want to do is set up our very first farm. Let's start nice and easy with a farm. I'm not good at this game by a long stretch. So don't be expecting anything great and fantastic or anything out of the ordinary. Let's call this Potato's World, you know? Let's give it a name. Let's also turn these thumping tunes up a little bit, because honestly, they're great. There we go. Just a smidgen. There we go. Okay, so as I was saying, let's talk about resources and the way that they sort of flow from building to building. First things first, we're gonna need a crop farm. Let's start nice and simple with a crop farm. That's annoying. If you right-click, you can right-click to drag around, but if you right-click, then it just gets rid of your building. As I say, I'm sure all this stuff is gonna end up changing, but for now, we just gotta make do with what we got. Anyway, we're gonna be putting down this farm right next to Copenhagen, capital of Denmark. A lot of these towns, by the way, are named very oddly, as in after capitals. So Phoenix Lake, I have no idea where that is. Amsterdam, we've got Mineville, that doesn't sound like a very real name. Manhattan, Madrid, you know, you get the picture. It's kind of like that. But anyway, so this is a crop farm, and immediately, as you can see, it's got an area of influence. Now, in this area of influence, we need to buy fields. So it's a little bit awkward in the way that you have to do this, but trust me, it's worth it. So we need to first of all head over to the production tab to decide what this crop farm is actually going to be producing. So as you can see, we can either produce wheat, hops, or cotton, and all of these need water, and then they produce wheat, right? So inputs, outputs, simple, just like that. 2 water gives 3 wheat, or we could do hops, 2 water gives 3 hops, or cotton, whatever. Let's start with wheat, okay? So we need to click set, and then that adds the little add field button. Now, it costs a bunch of money to add a field, but you can have up to 5 fields, I think, and these all need to be placed within the area of influence. So let's go ahead and place down our fields. Now, it's got to be connected in some way, so let's keep it connected. I'm trying to use sort of the country real estate out at the back. It can sort of overlap a little bit, so it can go outside the boundaries, but only just, if that makes sense, at least for now. This could all change. It's an alpha. Alphas change all the time. Yeah, and I think it gets more and more expensive per field that you build, but that may just be, that's just a guess. I don't know, I'm just guessing there. Anyway, there we go. All 5 fields have been built. The weird thing is that you can actually change right now to like make it a hop. So if we just click hops, then all of these fields instantly become hops fields, which is kind of a little bit bonkers, but again, it's an alpha. What do you expect? It's an alpha. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Anyway, so we need to actually get water to this field, and as I say, this is an alpha, so there is literally no production of anything that goes on in the map. It is all down to the player in order to move the resources from place to place in order to, you know, grow their company and build more stuff. So we're gonna have to do just that. We are gonna have to get a water siphon, and water siphons are kind of unique because they need to be built. They need to be built on the coast, so they need to be built just like so. Perfect. And once again, we're going to go through the same stage of adding a bunch of harvesters or fields or whatever the hell they're called to this water siphon. And once again, we can do 5. I didn't do that. I didn't place that perfectly there, but it doesn't particularly matter. 5 out of 5 harvesters. I'm pretty certain that it's 5 across the board. So whatever sort of industry you put down, you can only have 5 harvesters if it's collecting a resource. Anyway, yes, this needs to be connected with roads. So let's get the road tool out and let's build the roads. Now the roads are very, very temperamental. The road tool especially is you know, it's got a kind heart, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't always get things right. Anyway, let's connect it up to the main area. By the way, you might notice that these buildings don't have graphics. A bunch of the buildings do have graphics. So if I was to place down a lumberyard here, then, you know, obviously, where are they going? The game is paused. Okay, it's an alpha. It's an alpha. Yeah, a bunch of these buildings do have graphics, and of course these are all going to have graphics as we progress onwards, but for now I'm just doing the most simple example of, you know, the sort of hierarchical structure that I can sort of show off. Anyway, let's... Okay, what's going on here? Can I, maybe if I unpause? Yeah, okay, so if I... Okay, so apparently you can only click on things when it's not paused. That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, water siphon. So, we're gonna get the harvesters to bring the resources back to the water siphon. That's what these chaps are doing right now. Fantastic. And you might see that there's a couple of lorries just parked in the driveway. And you might be thinking to yourself, that just can't do. You know, that's just not good enough. And you'd be absolutely correct, because these lorries are destined for greatness. And they are destined for greatness because they're going to go somewhere. So first things first, we need to select our destination. Now, there's a bunch of places that this water could go, but where we want it to go can be categorized as a farm. It's just across the road. We want it to go to the Copenhagen Crop Farm number 1. And as you can see, that's got a distance of 7 tiles. So let's click the set button, and then as you can see, each building that you build comes with 3 trucks available. So for now, we'll assign all 3 trucks to that route, and as you can see, we've got our little trucks that are moving out and delivering said water to the appropriate location. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And now, if you can see, we should be able to have our crop farm producing a bunch of wheat. That's the dream anyway. It's only producing 1 field at the moment, but I'm presuming that that's just because we need a bunch more water, and each of these chaps only provides 1 water. So what we can do actually is, if we're not getting enough water, we've got loads of water in store, and these lorries apparently only transport 1 water. Yep, 1 water. We can actually buy a bunch more trucks. So it's going to cost me about 10,000 a pop. Cash is down in the corner there. That's our cash statement. If you didn't already see that, monthly income, monthly expenses. And the date's down there if you want to keep track of things. And we can equip more trucks to the route. So I'm actually going to buy the maximum number of trucks that you can for a building, which is 9. And all 9 will be equipped. And as you can see, we're storing this much water in this water siphon at this moment in time. So, you know, we're far off the capacity, but I really, really care about just shipping a bunch of water over here. As you can see, we're now producing in all 5 fields. There's no graphic or anything associated with that, but rest assured, we're producing in all 5 fields. As you can see in this storage here, we've actually got a bunch of wheat, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, the next question. What do we do? What do we do with the wheat? Well, the wheat needs to go somewhere, right? And let's have a little look at this grocery store. So, if we click on the stores in town, if you see Copenhagen, the shops in Copenhagen are the grocery shop and the wholesaler shop. Now, the wholesaler shop is completely broken, and I'm not even going to try and tell you what goods that'll accept. But the grocery store we can look at. Now, the grocery store requests a bunch of goods. So it requests oranges, canned fish, meat, and grapes. All of those we can produce. But specifically, we are going to start producing meat, right? That's what we're going to do. That's my little example. And to produce meat, we need to put down a livestock farm. And a livestock farm is very, very much like a crop farm. And would you look at that? It's got some lovely little graphics to go with it, which is great. Anyway, let's go to the production tab. Once again, cow field. I don't know why it shows an actual chicken, an actual sheep, and then just like a cut of beef. That is very, very mean, but I'm part of the problem, I suppose, because I'm gonna be packaging some of that meat up. Anyway, let's get some more fields added. I have a funny feeling we're not gonna be able to get all of the fields down. Yeah, we're not really gonna be able to, I don't think. Yeah, you know, 4 out of 5 ain't bad. Yeah, it's alright. Okay, anyway, we're going to want to make sure that we're getting the grain, because of course we need the grain. We actually need grain and water in order to feed the cows, in order to give us meat, milk, and leather. So that's really important that we get this set up. So let's start taking wheat to farms. We need to take it to livestock farm, and I'll equip 3 trucks. Sure, straight away. No biggie. And we should see all of the lorries phase together and move out in uniform pattern. We're also going to change this. How much water do we need? It's 1 water and 1 wheat. So we shouldn't need that much water, but we'll see. Crop farm, livestock farm. We need to go to livestock farm. It's water. Let's equip 3 trucks to this route. We've still got 9 trucks in total, so it's not ideal. We could set up a separate water siphon if we wanted to, although I'm not trying to bankrupt the company. I say bankrupt the company. We've got a casual 48 million here, so it would be incredibly challenging to bankrupt this company. I mean, I'm sure I'd be able to. I mean, easily, but there we go. Anyway, we should have some water being delivered to the livestock farm, and water means cows. You know what I think we need to do? I think we actually need to split this pretty much 50-50. Yeah. There we go. Let's try that. 50-50. How much water are we storing? Not that much water. Not that much water at all. Unfortunately, we can't add any harvesters or whatever. I'm sure as the game progresses, then there'll be new ways to maybe upgrade buildings or whatnot, increase water production at water siphons, all of that stuff. But as I say, this is an alpha. And we've only touched on roads. We haven't even gone near trains yet, which are, oh, let me tell you, interesting to say the least. Anyway, we should have a bunch of cows produced, right? Analytics, by the way, is also completely worthless. It's an alpha. Hey, look at this. We have got a bunch of meat, a bunch of milk, and a bunch of leather, which is quite frankly glorious. Now, you needed meat, Mr. Grocery Store. We can see that you sell for 1,350, which is a pretty damn good price for meat, if you ask me. If we were gonna have a little look at all of the state trading prices for meat, now I don't really understand how this works. If we go to the tutorial, which I must say is limited, there's nothing in state trading at the moment. So I'm presuming that state trading is going to be some sort of like a baseline price guide for how much you should be selling the products to the grocery stores. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be like, but I don't really know. Anyway, we can actually start selling some of this meat to the grocery store. So let's do that. Let's go to livestock farm, select the destination. Also, that's an interesting point to make. If you are playing this game and you know, for example, say this was on leather, and say I wanted to send it to a commercial, and you don't see the grocery store here, even though it's quite clearly right in Copenhagen, the problem is that you need to make sure that it's selected onto the resource that the grocery store wants, right? And then, boom, 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 we see that it pops up. 15 tiles away, Copenhagen, Let's go. Let's assign all 3 trucks over there because, quite frankly, we don't really want to do anything else with any of these other resources. Although we could do some other stuff with these other resources. Does anyone want milk? Let's go and have a look in commercial. Oh, turns out that somebody does actually want milk. Fantastic. That will go into the next part of the demonstration. So, remember all that time ago when I looked over here? That's Mineville. And this is Phoenix Lake. Yeah, Phoenix Lake, which is the town name that I didn't recognize. Perfect. That's going to work. That's going to work for me. That's going to work to demonstrate my example pretty much perfectly. So, what we could do is we could get a lorry to drive all the way up here, all the way down here, and all the way to Phoenix Lake. Alternatively, we could build a road that goes along here, connects up to this road, and then that, then the lorry drives all the way along to Phoenix Lake. But you know what? Maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we want our milk delivered in style. Maybe we are expensive, posh. You can't really be an expensive millionaire, but let's pretend that we're expensive millionaires. I don't even know what that term is, but there we go. We're posh millionaires. We demand our milk to be delivered in style. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's plonk down a train terminal. Now, once again, I've got to specify this is an alpha. So it's going to be a little bit dodge, shall we say. Anyway, I need to find someone. I need to find somewhere that this is not going to be too terrible. Yeah, let's stick it down here. So this isn't the perfect place for a railway station, but it's good enough. We're going to need our little road to connect up, so that's an example of the roads not really working. So the roads are now connected up to the train station. Perfect. So, we've got our train station departure area, and now we need to put a place where the train station is going to finish. So let's make it finish right here. And let's connect this up with road as well. Perfect. So the grocery store, which wants the milk, is right over here. The Phoenix Lake grocery store, looking rather nice. So now all we need to do is click on the train track tile and don't even just like, if you've got straight track, it looks bloody glorious. As soon as you start trying to go around corners, it just looks terrible. But I'm assuming that will all be fixed as we progress. So, yeah, let's just try and come up here. Where the hell am I going? Yeah, I'm going all the way over this way. So it will actually just like autopath, but an interesting autopath to say the least. Oh, sure, I'll place that down. That's that is a very precarious route. I'm sure it'll actually work though. Just you watch. Just you watch. All right, and let's take you out of here and place you down over there. As I say, if the track is straight, it looks glorious. Like it looks like actual train track. However, the way that it goes around corners is just quite bonkers. It's just really bonkers indeed. But anyway, we've hooked it up now, which puts us in a great place indeed. And actually means that at the very start of the next episode, we can start off our train service that is going to be delivering milk in style all the way over to Phoenix Lake. It's going to be absolutely glorious. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Orbital Potato. This has been Rise of Industry. I'm going to be sure to play some more of this game over the next couple of days, because even though it's just an alpha, I can already tell it's just going to be a really good, fun, enjoyable game as more and more content gets added. So, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.